Hello, good morning everybody. Today is 8th of March 2019 and I'm going to take you through today's overview. So we'll start by first looking at all the pairs that we checked yesterday to see how they went. We'll start with the main ones, Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, before we move to SP500, Brent oil, and then last we'll look at gold. So let's start off. This is what we had yesterday. We drew a line at around 1.1445. Then we said that as long as the price does not go above this level, we expect price to be going to the lower side. So far, that's exactly what has been happening. The price successfully managed to go below this level and is still just below it. So as long as the price does not now come back again and close above 1.1264, we expect it to continue to the lower side. Something like this is likely. Expect a retracement. Expect a slight retracement back to the same level before you can pick a sell to the lower side. Something like this is likely. So as it is at the moment, you're not suggesting that you should take any trade. Instead, wait for price to close the week, let it go close below 1.1290. Then if that is true, that by the end of today the price is below 1.1290, then we'll wait for a retracement next week up to the same level before we pick a sell up to the lowest end, which is 1.0484. This is from the weekly point of view. Let's check maybe daily or even lesser time frame. 15 minutes, that's how it looks. 30 minutes, that's how 30 minutes look. So far from that, as you can see, there's a move down. We tried going up before we eventually broke to the last side. On this chart, from the 30 minutes point of view, there's a level here which price needs to come back to. These are very good support, a good support, and I can mark it as a zone like that. So as long as the price remains below this level from the 30 minutes point of view, then this is the correct place to sell from. Simply wait for a retracement back to the same level before you can pick a sell like this. You can also place a pending sell limit from this point. Place your pending sell limit. Expect price to come back. Maybe that should be next week or in the coming few days. It should come back up to within 1.1262 or 1.1255. You should be able to pick a sell from that point, and your take profit should be here at 1.0484. So assuming you take it, you sell it from the 4 hours point of view, then your stop loss has to be here above 1.1326. We will move to the next chart, and that should be GBP USD. GBP just a second, let me load it. GBP is here. So far this pair is supposed to be heading upwards, but somehow it's continually heading even lower. From the weekly point of view, we wanted the columns of MACD from the current one to start closing above 00. So far that is not happening. Instead, the columns are still below 00, and previously we were below 00 for the longest time. So from price action purely, this pair should be heading upwards, especially on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, there's this pin bar followed by a bullish engulfing, and then followed by another bullish pin bar. So all this indicate that the price is supposed to be heading upwards, but somehow the price is correcting itself to the losses. So we're not going to suggest any trade on this one, although we expect price to move up. If you have to buy it, then wait for price to rise above this level. Let it to go above 1.3261, something like this. Just allow it to continue up like that, then wait for some retracement like that before you can pick a buy to the upper side, something like this. So we took a buy while price was somewhere around this point. We also took a buy when price was retracing to the other side, and we are still waiting for price to now break above 1.3261, then retrace back to the same point so that you can pick a buy with a take profit at the monthly level. which is 1.4246. So according to the indicators, from MACD, from the monthly point of view, there's still no buy. We still see the columns of MACD is closing below 00. From this point up to this point, the columns are below 00. We want them to start rising above 00 so that we can pick a confirmed buy up to 1.4246. So I'll also look at the same chart from a lesser time frame, maybe from the hourly point of view, to see if there are any good trades. So this is the BPS, the 1 hour. There is no clear, there's a trend somehow. We have the main line of ADX above 25, but then the green and the red dotted one are almost close to each other. So there's no clear trend. We don't know whether it's upwards or downward. On the hourly point of view, there's no clear trend. Therefore, if you want to trade the short time, 1 hour, there's no trade at the moment. Let's look at Forex to see. Forex, there's a trend and we are actively downward. So the reason I'm saying that is this, the main line, which is this, is above 25, and then the dotted one, red one, is above the green one, which means we have a trend and that trend is downward. So you should look for sell cases, look for places to sell. And let me just draw that so that you're able to see. The places to sell are like this. We had a line here some few days ago, if I remember, we had a line there. Let me highlight it properly. A support, the same place as a false break, price went back up. So before we sell it, wait for price to descend below, let price go below, then retrace back up somehow to the same point, like that, before you pick a sell heading to the lower side, something like this. So on the lower side, assuming you successful money to sell it somewhere around this point, you should be able to take profit while the price is hitting this level 1.3016, then the next one is 1.2931, then the next one, the next and the last one is this one, 1.2662. So we'll move to the last symbol pair, and that should be USD JPY, going perfectly as we said. We mentioned that from the weekly point of view, actually want a retracement. So far what happened is that the price retraced massively to the lower side and is still above 1110.78. So this is still a buy. Don't confuse this downward movement with the change in trend. The overall trend in this case is still upwards, and we just want price to come back up to 110.78 so that you can pick a buy from that point, expecting price to go up to the top, which is 114.05. So on this chart, somehow the best you should do is just wait for this trade, wait for a clear buy signal when the price bounces from this level where I'm having my mouse at, this one. Let price come down the way it's coming, then let it give you a good buy signal from that point, pick a buy from that point, expecting it to go up to the top. So far on this side, we only have, like, these are 5 levels. We have the first one, 117.92, 114.05, 110.78, 108.55, then the last one is this 104.52. So anytime the price tries touching any of these lines, then you should be expecting a trade. And should price break any of them, then expect a trade in the direction of that break. Like in this case, assuming the price breaks above, then we'll expect a buy, like a trade that is in line with that break. Whichever line it breaks, just pick a trade that is in line with that break. If it breaks above, pick a buy. If it breaks below any of these lines, you're supposed to pick a sell. So currently I'm recommending a buy because from the indicator that I'm having attached on this chart, ADX, you can see that the complete line, the green dotted one, is above the red one. Then the complete one, let me see if it's above 25. Just a second, 25. Let me attach a line. It's still below 25. So we want the complete one to be above 25 and the green dotted one to be above the red one. That one will confirm that the overall trend is actively upward. So in this case, based on the indicator we have on this chart, there is no clear trend. There is no clear direction. But from price action alone, This is supposed to be a buy. We wait for price to bounce from this point before we pick a buy, like that, up to the top. So we'll move to the next symbols, and that should be SP500. Still going down, just as we mentioned some yesterday. So if you can remember, the reason I'm having this line at the top, the one at 2814.4, is because the same place was used as a resistance previously. Second time, third time, price went down, it came back to the same resistance. So assuming somebody took a buy, or as we mentioned that you're supposed to buy from this point, buy from this point, buy from this point, all of those positions are supposed to take profit at this line 2814.2. Currently, what is happening is a possible correction, and we expect it not to go below 2738.8. So should it bounce from this point, then expect price to go up before it retraces just slightly. Then we'll see a move actively to the upper side. Something like this is what to expect. So we are also waiting to buy here. Should price give us a good buy signal, we'll be able to pick a buy from that point. We're also going to be able to buy when the price is above 2814.4.2. So all of this, if you buy here, just take profit at the next level. And if you buy at 2814.2, then you take your profits here. And should price proceed above the place where you're taking profits from, that is above, should price go above like that, then you need to wait for some retracement just back to the same level before you should be able to pick a buy. So this is the longest, this is what to expect in the long run. The price should keep moving up, because from the past the index has been upwards. Just look at it. This was 2009. Price went up, it retraced slightly, it went up, it retraced slightly, then up, slightly, up, slightly, up. Then for the first time we've seen a retracement that is bigger than the other retracements. So this does not mean the trend is changing. It does not mean the fact that there was a retracement that is bigger than the others does not mean that the trend is changing. It only means that there was a massive correction. So unless the price goes below 2468.7, we are actually looking for buy trades. But as it is at the moment, we want a retracement before we can pick a buy, expecting price to proceed even higher. So we'll move straight to the next chart, and that should be Brent oil. So Brent oil, I'm not going to add much. We already looked at a lot of things yesterday. We still have our lines just the same way I had them previously. And I started by mentioning why I was saying this was a buy. So yes, what I said is that while price was going down from this point up to the lowest point, there was just a slight retracement, a slight retracement, a slight retracement, a slight retracement, then another slight one before there was a main retracement. Before there was this main retracement. So the fact that this retracement is bigger than the previous ones, it means that possibly this trend which we were seeing is coming to an end. So that was confirmed when the next retracement actually became bigger than the one we saw just previously. This one, this is now bigger than even the one. This retracement here is bigger than the previous one. So it has gone above the end of the previous retracement, which is this level. So as long as the price above 62.86, wait for a retracement back down, like a move to this level, then you should be able to pick a buy from that point, expecting it to go even higher, something like this. So as it is at the moment, we are actually waiting for a buy here. This is still a buy for me. This is still a buy. Expect price to come back to this level. It should move up, retrace back to the same level. So pick a buy from that point. Also pick a buy from that point. You should also be able to pick a buy when the price is there. All of those positions, if you successfully buy the three, then you should be able to take profit at 86.05. All of them, the three. The first one, the second one, and the third one. We'll move to the next chart, and that should be gold. So before I move on, I need to mention that you can place a pending buy limit here in between 62.86. Place a pending buy limit, have your stop loss below, somewhere below this red candle, then the first take profit, the next one, and then the last one. To gold now, that one. So gold tried going down yesterday, but then it's now pulling back up. For the better part of this week, we tried to move down, but we are currently pushing back to the upper side. So price did not bounce clearly from the resistance we said. That's the first thing we are seeing here, that instead of heading up, it actually went down before it could hit this level. We still want price to come back to this level, to 1349.29, so that we can pick a sell from that point. But as long as it is below this level, let me just mark a zone. As long as the price remains below this zone here, then this is now a sell. We are not waiting for it to go back up to the top. We actually want it to go back to this zone. Let it try pulling back up, something like this. Let it come back up to that zone. Then we'll be able to pick a sell from that point, expecting it to go even lower. So you may place a pending sell limit in between, somewhere in between, have your stop loss above, then your take profit should be here along this trend line. So the trend line you're seeing me currently having this line on is actually also a very good monthly support. So as long as the price does not clearly descend below it, we expect price to bounce from it and head straight back to the upper side. So as it is at the moment, we're still above it, so we just want price to come back and then bounce from it before we can see a move back to the upper side, and then it should head straight to this resistance, which is a very good sell place. So far this is what we expect. We are waiting for a sell from that point. We're also waiting for a sell from this point. This is a buy. We took a buy previously. We also took another buy there previously, and we want that should price get back to this level sometimes in the future, then this is going to be a very good place to buy from, with our take profit at the top at 1349.29. So the same chart, look at it from the monthly, is still just a good trade. From the monthly, you see we have this resistance which has been holding since 2013. Those are sell, 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 and just recently, that was in February, there's another good sell which could have pushed price the way it has moved now. So you didn't take a sell while the price was here, you can still wait and buy it when it bounces from this trend line. This is a buy. So that should bring us to the end of today's overview. So far we've looked at just all the pairs we wanted to look at. We've looked at Euro USD, where we expect some retracement back to 1.1290 so that we can pick a sell up to the lowest end. We've also looked at GBP USD, where we are waiting for a buy, but in case price, only when price goes above 1.3261. Then USD-JPY, we are still waiting for a buy. We want a clear retracement back to 110.70 so that I can pick a buy up to the top. Then SP500, we are waiting for a buy as we speak. We want price to give us some buy signal from where the price is now, so that we'll be able to buy it from that point with the first take profit and then the next one at the top. Then on Brent oil, we have a pending buy limit around 62.86 with the first take profit, the next one, and then the last one. Then on gold, we want a retracement back to somewhere within this zone. We'll be able to pick a sell up to the lower end. And then those are the only ones we looked at. So thank you very much. See you again on Monday at the same time.